What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE Monday Night Raw coming up. I'm going to be talking about Seth Rollins. I'm going to be talking about John Cena. I'm going to be talking about Money in the Bank. I'm going to be talking about the great night Roman Reigns had. And I'm going to be talking about the youth movement. Monday Night Raw felt completely different last night from past episodes. Something was different. We'll talk about it. Monday Night Raw review, the absolute best place for all your WWE needs right here on YouTube.com. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. JD from New York. Monday Night Raw review. Last night's show in Cleveland, Ohio, June 16, 2014. I'm not going to make this a long, drawn-out, hopefully not, 20-minute video. I know what I want to talk about, and the main thing last night was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns reigned supreme last night on Monday Night Raw. Now, I like what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to lie. I'm usually the first one to bitch, moan, complain, curse, whatever at Monday Night Raw and the way WWE is handling things last night. They handled things very, very well. The entire show flowed great. Youth was shown. We got a taste of what the WWE is going to be showcasing in the future. It wasn't dragged out. We didn't get, hampered down with fucking bullshit matches. Nothing, was just boring and stale like it was in previous weeks. First hour was unbelievable, man. That's the first time I could say that regarding Monday Night Raw in a couple of weeks now. This is the way the WWE really needs to start handling things. Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, Sheamus, youth. Now, Sheamus is not youth. Yeah, he's what, 33, 34? Well, he's up there. He's got to be older than that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'd rather see Sheamus than fucking John Cena is what I'm talking about, okay? Which we'll talk about John Cena in a little bit. But what I'm getting at is that the youth is there. The youth is there, okay? And the first hour really showed you what you can expect from WWE. And this is what they really need to do. They need to start showcasing these guys a little bit more and putting them in more important roles. And the whole show started off with Triple H coming out and talking about, a battle royal. He wanted to plan a battle royal. He had the entire WWE roster on the stage to start the show. Him and Stephanie were in the ring. There was 2 spots before this week's Monday Night Raw to get into Money in the Bank. There was 2 spots open. One, he's going to determine in a battle royal. And he said the only 2 guys that are not going to be in this battle royal, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. I keep trying to say Seth Rollins. I got to get used to Seth Rollins being on his own. All right? But I'll talk about Seth Rollins in a little bit. But Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are not in this battle royal simply because, obviously they're continuing Triple H's feud with the remaining members of the Shield. That they did not evolve. That's what he's been saying. Then he said John Cena is another name who's not going to be in this battle royal because John Cena wants to be the good guy. He wants to help Daniel Bryan. He wants to help the Shield last week and be their tag team partner against the Wyatts. So, John, I know you want to fight, and that's what I'm exactly going to have you do tonight, he said. Instead of putting Daniel Bryan in that stretcher match that they promised for Money in the Bank for the WWE Championship, simply because Bryan is hurt, he's no longer the champion, I'm going to give the WWE Universe that stretcher match tonight. And that stretcher match is going to be you going against Kane. Now, I initially said that Kane and John Cena were going to be the final 2 guys in Money in the Bank. I was wrong. I took a shot at it. I was wrong. I can't be right about everything. But I did get Cena right. I knew Cena was going to compete. I knew Cena was going to advance. Okay? But I thought Kane was going to be there in the match just to kind of give the Authority, a little bit more of a better chance to win at Money in the Bank. You had Kane being the right-hand demon of the Authority, and then you got Randy Orton in the Money in the Bank. But obviously, Triple H wanted to book Cena versus Kane in a stretcher match, which, I have no words to say about the stretcher match, man. I don't want to come on here and complain about John Cena because I know a few other guys on YouTube do it. I don't want to do it. The one thing I will complain about is it wasn't exciting at all. It was very predictable. And the way the WWE laid out that stretcher match and the match placement of that stretcher match is a little bit on the lazy side. I think the WWE kind of messed up with the match placement of that and the Battle Royal. I'll talk about that. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but the Battle Royal is what I really want to talk about. The Battle Royal was unpredictable at first. I had absolutely no problem with the Battle Royal to get into Money in the Bank. But as you've seen progress on the show, Roman Reigns trying to weasel himself into that Battle Royal. Whether it's talking to Vicky Guerrero, whether he's the outcast of the Authority, they don't want anything to do with Roman Reigns. They're going to try and keep him out of any potential Money in the Bank qualifiers, Battle Royals, matches, whatever. They're trying to keep him away from that Battle Royal. But Roman Reigns tried to weasel himself into that match through Vicky Guerrero. Now, it all took place from Vicky Guerrero buying coffee for Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. She bought them coffee, and Roman Reigns seen, Vicky, those coffees are black. There's no cream. There's no sugar. So she left the coffee with Roman Reigns, iced coffee. Looked like Starbucks iced coffee. I prefer Dunkin' Donuts, by the way. But it looked like Starbucks iced coffee. He had the coffee, watching it for Vicky as she went to go get sugar. So he turns his back to the camera and starts poisoning the coffee. Now, we don't see what he's putting in the coffee, but he's putting some kind of unknown substance in the coffee. Whether he put them in both coffees, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So Vicky goes to Triple H and Stephanie and delivers these coffee. Stephanie gets hers. Triple H accidentally knocks his coffee, out of Vicky's hand, spills all over her. He's like, Vicky, what am I supposed to drink now? Go get me another coffee. So Stephanie's drinking the coffee with the unknown substance in it. And she's like, this is delicious. This is great. So obviously Roman Reigns is, trying to weasel himself in there. I don't know what was going to happen at that point. But later on in the show, Renee Young is interviewing Stephanie McMahon about the Battle Royal and how the night's progressing. And you could see Stephanie is getting sick. She runs off camera. She leaves Renee Young hanging. So then later on in the show, Triple H is hearing Stephanie McMahon throw up in the bathroom. And Vicky's there, and he sends Vicky into the bathroom to go check on Steph. And Vicky opens the door, and then all of a sudden you see this vomit and this puke come flying out. And she threw up all over Vicky Guerrero. Now, Triple H is joking around. I didn't see the segment to be funny whatsoever. I thought it was disgusting. It reeked of Vince McMahon humor. Vince was probably the only one laughing at that bullshit. I didn't enjoy it. I'm sure you guys didn't enjoy it. It wasn't needed. But it was all done for the sake of the program, to move the program along. They wanted to throw in some sick humor, so be it. So Triple H and Stephanie leave scene, and they're on their way to the hospital. Okay, Triple H is taking care of Steph. They're gone for the remainder of the show. He leaves Vicky in charge and says, do not have anything go wrong with the remainder of this show, including the Battle Royal. Roman Reigns goes to check on Vicky. She's visibly upset, screaming. He's like, Vicky, you know what? You're going to be fired next week anyway. Do the WWE a favor. Do the WWE Universe a favor and give them what they want. Me in the Battle Royal. Now, Vicky agrees to this. Roman Reigns is in the Battle Royal. He gets a shot at the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Vicky, I don't know what's going to happen next week. She will probably be reprimanded by the Authority. But Roman Reigns got what he wanted. He's in. Now, it was unpredictable at first, but as the night went on, and I don't have any problem with how the night progressed. I enjoyed it. I thought the WWE had a one-set mind, a one-track vision here, and they did everything flawlessly. I have no complaints with how they set up Roman Reigns. But he gets to the Battle Royal, and now that he's in the Battle Royal, it made it a little bit too predictable right from the opening bell. Now, I took a look at who was in the match, and I'm like, you know what? There's nobody in this Battle Royal that makes any sense whatsoever, besides, excluding Roman Reigns, now that he's the new guy there, except for Rusev. Rusev is the only one there that they legitimately built up. Everybody else is like besides Wade Barrett and Rob Van Dam, everybody is like a fucking scrub. They got Bo Dallas in there. You had Titus O'Neil. Whatever. Rusev is the one guy that stood out from everybody in that ring. Now, I knew Rusev wasn't going to win simply because there are too many heels in the Money in the Bank ladder match already. There's too many heels. You're not going to add another heel to that. You got to offset the amount of heels with a babyface in that ladder match. So obviously Roman Reigns is the only one that, you can take a look at there and see that he's going to win. It was a little bit too predictable. And I even said on Twitter it's going to come down to Rusev and Roman Reigns, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I am not complaining. Sometimes predictability leads to something exciting and great on television. It was great to watch. The crowd was into it. You've seen a glimpse of the future here, right? Rusev and Roman Reigns, potential, feud for the WWE Championship years from now. Who knows? That could be a money feud, and we could look back on this moment and say, you know what? This is where these two started. Now look at them. They're going to develop into fucking big-time WWE superstars, big-time players in the WWE. And that's exactly what I got out of that last segment. Roman Reigns and Rusev went at it. It was great. It was exciting. You're seeing the youth movement in progress right now in WWE. Rusev's on the outside of the ropes. Ends it with a Superman punch. Roman Reigns goes on to Money in the Bank. I enjoyed the setup. Besides that vomiting segment with Triple H and Stephanie and Vicky. But other than that, the whole setup with Roman Reigns, I think he had a new theme music as well, a new theme song. They kind of tweaked the old Shield music to kind of make it his own. Because he's the only legitimate, and he's still in the Shield gear, because everybody's asking, when these guys go separate ways, what are they going to be wearing? What are they going to be coming out? What kind of entrance music are they going to be coming down to? Whatever. He still had that remains of the Shield music, but it looked like it was kind of tweaked, or it sounded like it was tweaked. Dean Ambrose came out in his match against Wade Barrett with his own theme music, which was enjoyable. Seth Rollins got his own theme music, which is great. But, Roman Reigns last night was reigning supreme, and I like the way the WWE, really didn't have Reigns and Ambrose kind of interact with each other. Yes, they're still two-thirds, they're still part of the Shield. Rollins is obviously a heel now, he's on his own. But you got two members remaining of the Shield, and I like the way the WWE didn't have Reigns and Ambrose cross paths last night. They individualized Ambrose and Reigns to do their own thing, to, have them go on their way, have their own agendas last night. That was the one key thing I took away from this show. They have Reigns and they have Ambrose, worrying about their own agendas. And then, obviously, at a later date, they will come back together and join forces and get the job done collectively. But last night, it was about each member individually, and that's what I liked about last night's show. Ambrose is still hot. He's still, upset and betrayed about what Rollins did to him, and that's what showed last night. He interfered in his match with Ziggler, and then Rollins comes out and interferes in Ambrose's match against Bad News Barrett. Those two are probably going to be colliding at Money in the Bank, and probably it could steal the show. Potentially, it could steal the show. I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank so much that, everyone was a little bit on the fence, a little bit reserved about this Seth Rollins heel turn. I think it's going to turn out great. I think the WWE right now, with the many avenues and the many roads that they could go down to make compelling television for SummerSlam, I like what they did last night, and it all starts from last night. They need to build upon this, and we say this all the time. They have one good show, and then they have 4 bad shows, and then they have one good show, and then they have 6 bad shows. It's not consistent. Last night was a great show. Minus little hiccups here and there. Match placement. You had the whole Cena bullshit with Kane. You had some filler in between there. Again, you got, Paige being booked weak, and it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna dwell on the negatives. I'm gonna talk about the positives here because I feel like I'm too negative about the product every time I come on here. But I like the way they individualized Reigns and Ambrose. I loved it. It's all gonna come together, and I like the way WWE's going with this. I like what they're doing. So last night was Reigns. You had John Cena and Kane. Now, let me tell you something about this. I'm not even going to talk about the match. The match was awful. Kane doesn't belong on my television anymore. And I said this many times. Kane is best suited now for a office role or a trainer role to train the big guys coming up down in NXT who are working down there to possibly make a WWE career and make their way to the main roster, whatever. He needs to be teaching those younger guys what he knows and the knowledge that he has. He doesn't need to be on TV anymore. Kane died when they took the mask off of him. I don't want to see him in the ring anymore. I don't want to see him in storylines. I don't want to see him competing at a high level. I just don't. I'm not invested in the Kane character anymore. It's stale. It's boring. It's the same shit. And last night with Cena just furthered that fact. Now, I'm not a big fan of John Cena, but I respect what the guy does. Like I always said, listen to him on Steve Austin's podcast. You kind of get into his head a little bit and where he thinks the business is going and what he thinks of the business. He's a smart guy. He's the face of the company. He does a lot of good. But again, I can understand why people don't like how John Cena shoved down their throats. You knew Cena was going to be in the Money in the Bank, so why complain about it? Why are you complaining about Cena and Money in the Bank? We knew he was going to be there. How he was going to get there was the thing, and the WWE messed that part up. The Battle Royal with Roman Reigns and Rusev should have closed the show. The way the crowd reacted, I firmly believe that should have closed the show. Cena and Kane in this stretcher match should have been in the middle of the card. It was not something I wanted to see as a last segment leading into next week. It would have did the WWE Universe, it would have did the TV viewer at home to see Reigns standing tall, winning that Battle Royal over Rusev, gaining entry into the Money in the Bank. That's just my honest opinion on that. It really is. I think the WWE really messed up the match placement there, and they really need to reconsider these things when booking and writing Monday Night Raw. Why would you put John Cena and Kane in a boring-ass stretcher match to close the show? Yes, I know it furthered the feuds between the Shield and Ambrose came down and interfered. Randy Orton was there. But that was the best part of the whole match, when Orton interfered and then Ambrose came down. And Rollins, they all got into it. And other than that, the match was horrible. I was not invested in what they did last night at all, because you knew Cena was going to win. Now, the Money in the Bank field is set. Reigns is not going to win Money in the Bank. I'm telling you guys right now. If he does, I would be completely shocked. He's not going to win Money in the Bank. John Cena is not going to win Money in the Bank, but it's always a possibility. I'm going with my gut instinct here. I don't think John Cena is going to get that 15th title reign. Del Rio's not winning it. Bray Wyatt has been my choice for weeks now. If you guys have been following me in my WWE content, you know I heard it. You know that I said it and you heard it. Bray Wyatt, I do think is a big-time favorite to win Money in the Bank, but I don't think he's going to win it. I don't think Cesaro is ready. It's too soon. I think Bray Wyatt, it may be even too soon for him. And the reason why I say it's too soon, even though we would love to see Bray Wyatt as champion, especially after last night's promo, he's talking about power, standing underneath the ladder, standing underneath the belts, and he's talking about if he has the belts, his word, his vision will come to fruition. He would have the ultimate power over everybody. Great promo. That promo made me want to see Bray Wyatt as WWE champion, but with the entire enigma that is Brock Lesnar waiting, I don't see them giving the WWE Championship to a young guy. Because if you give it to a young guy, you're ultimately going to have them drop it to Brock Lesnar. And you don't want to do that because you're going to kill momentum, you're going to kill their character, and you don't want to feed the young guys when you want to build them up to Brock Lesnar. You just don't want to do that. So, the logical choice here is maybe have a Del Rio win it. Have a Del Rio win it, and you won't feel too bad when Brock Lesnar fucking chews him up and spits him out. Have a Randy Orton win it. And that whole rumored match that we've been hearing for a year now, Orton versus Brock Lesnar. It could happen. Have Brock Lesnar just destroy Randy Orton. Randy Orton ain't doing anything. He hasn't been in anything important lately anyway. Feed him to Brock Lesnar. It'd be great. That's why I think it's going to go on one of the safer guys. Now, if the WWE wanted to put the belt on Cesaro, if they wanted to put the belt on Cesaro, you could have Cesaro the WWE Champion and have Brock Lesnar come back and be a little bit jealous, stating that he's a Paul Heyman guy, he's a Paul Heyman client, he beat The Undertaker, I was supposed to be the champion, but this guy is your WWE Champion? So then he wants a shot. Paul Heyman gets a little bit confused about who he should side with. Cesaro turns face. Brock Lesnar is the ultimate heel. They lead into SummerSlam. There's your SummerSlam main event. I don't know. But all I know is Roman Reigns is not going to win. So you guys who tweeted me last night, Roman Reigns is going to be new WWE champion. No. Did you see the reaction he got last night? Did you see the reaction he got on Monday Night Raw last night? If the WWE's smart, they're going to build Roman Reigns up to WrestleMania and give him that moment when he's fully more established, when he's got more crowd following, when he's got more individualized attire, and he's not, repping the Shield gear. He's going to get that moment at WrestleMania because he's going to be huge. He's going to be huge. I'm invested in Roman Reigns, and it's going to be another one of those deals where you invest in the character and you can't wait to see that big payoff. But what they're doing right now, Reigns is going to get in Money in the Bank. He's in. He's going to get screwed by Triple H and the Authority. Plain and simple. That's going to lead to a tag team match from what I'm assuming at Battleground. You're going to have Orton and you're going to have Rollins versus Ambrose and Reigns, and then from there you're going to have Reigns versus Triple H. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But the WWE Championship situation, man, I know Brock Lesnar is looming. You got the big question mark of Brock Lesnar looming for the WWE Championship. if the WWE is smart, they would put the belt on him because the SummerSlam pay-per-view is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. You want someone big going into LA at the Staples Center into SummerSlam as your WWE champion. There's nobody right now on that roster that will be more talked about than Brock Lesnar. I don't care who you put him with. Put the belt on him. If Bryan comes back, can you imagine Lesnar versus Bryan for SummerSlam? Epic. Hopefully Bryan comes back. You know, you just feel it. You feel that there's something missing with Daniel Bryan not there. Everything just feels, you know, you feel the scramble for WWE right now. You feel that they're under pressure to try and get you the best content, the best quality television that they can. They're doing a great job. Last night was a great job by WWE. But you feel that there's a missing piece to that puzzle with Bryan out. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he comes back by SummerSlam so we can get everything fully into place again. I hope so. But last night, guys, youth movement was, up and coming. You seen it. Yeah, Rusev, Reigns, Ambrose, Rollins. You had Wyatt, Sheamus, and Bad News Barrett last night as well. Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose, great match. Rollins versus Ziggler was a great match last night. Sheamus and Bray Wyatt last night. The youth movement is there, guys. WWE really needs to continue with these guys, build around them, mold them, get them, into the eyes and ears of the WWE universe a little bit more. And this is what we're going to be seeing, guys. This is what we can expect leading into the future for Monday Night Raw. I was very pleased with the progression of last night's show. It's exciting, and Money in the Bank is going to be, you guys usually ask me, JD, should I buy Money in the Bank? It's going to be a can't-miss show, I tell you that. I'll tell you that, guys. But that was my Monday Night Raw review. There's really nothing else that happened last night. You had Paige versus Cameron last night. Really didn't do anything for me. Goldust and Stardust. I see Cody Rhodes turning heel on Goldust with this whole Stardust attire. I see them having a match at SummerSlam. They defeated Ryback last night. I don't know what to think about Stardust. It's a little bit different. WWE's, trying things differently with this Cody Rhodes Goldust thing. But ultimately, I think Cody's going to turn heel and go against Goldust at SummerSlam. And Goldust is going to be the face there. Adam Rose and Summer Rae defeated Fandango and Layla. Summer Rae and Layla, they ran off into the back. They were chasing each other. Adam Rose got his finisher on Fandango, 1, 2, 3. Rusev defeated Heath Slater. One thing with Rusev, I'm tired of these squash matches. Rusev really needs to be put in something a little bit more important. There's only so many squash matches that we can see by Rusev. We know what he's capable of. We know he's a beast. We know he's got Lana there. I want to see him in something a little bit more important. I want to see him put to the true test. Everyone's saying, don't worry, JD, it's going to be Russia, USSR versus United States, and repping the United States is going to be John Cena. They're going to feed him to Cena. It's going to happen. They're gonna have a match. They're gonna have a feud. But I want to see him put in something a little bit more meaningful right now. Not a John Cena type feud, but something more than squash matches against Heath Slater and Zack Ryder and Xavier Woods. Something a little bit more. He even squashed Big E. What's going on with Big E? He squashed Big E. I want to see him against a Sheamus. Imagine that. Put him against Sheamus for the United States title. That would be fucking awesome. But it is what it is, guys. Monday Night Raw, no complaints last night. 8 out of 10. If I had to grade it, great show. And Money in the Bank is looking great, man. Can't complain. One thing we need to look forward to is Rollins versus Ambrose. Not officially booked, but they got 3 shows left. 2 SmackDowns and 1 Raw to go to Money in the Bank. So look forward to that. Money in the Bank is shaping up to be great. We're going to be guaranteed a new champion, and it's going to be a great night of action on June 28th, I think it is. 28th to 29th, one of those dates. I don't know. It's the last Sunday of the month, but whatever it is. I'll see you guys on Off the Script. That is my Monday Night Raw review. If you guys missed anything that I previously did prior, links are down below. WrestleZone.com, link is down below. And I will see you guys on Friday for episode 18 of Off the Script, part number 1. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to enjoy my day off. I'm off today and tomorrow. It's beautiful. It's hot. It's sticky. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go out and enjoy myself. Take care, guys. I'm out. I'll see you on Friday. See you later.